What's up, guys? We're back with another Super 7 review, taking a look at a couple of reaction figures today. And it's been a little while, maybe a long while really, since I've done any kind of reaction video, but I just could not stop myself for these two figures because as much as I want to keep them on card, I just also want to pull these off and mess around with these figures because I have not done that for this line yet. So we are taking a look at two today. We're taking a look at two Ghost figures, the most recent. So we've got Papa Meredith II up first, and this guy is on like a standard card back for the line. So we've got him in the bubble, normal stuff for reaction, and then we've got the fantastic Ed Repka artwork on the card here. So this is just beautiful from a card art perspective. I mean, definitely keeping this card, no doubt about it, because Ed Repka is a legend when it comes to this stuff, and it is a beautiful presentation. The back is, of course, cross-sell for other Super 7 lines. So you've got Motorhead, you've got Slayer, you've got Megadeth, and of course Papa down there also. But the star of the show is going to be the Mummy Dust Papa Emeritus III. So this is a very specific type of card. It's obviously, landscape rather than portrait format. So it's a longer card. It's much bigger in a general sense, but it's all about the presentation because this is paying homage, paying tribute to the actual mummy dust, that money that they shoot into the crowd during concerts. And it doesn't look exactly like this. There are a lot of changes. It's not even Papa Emeritus on the actual mummy dust. It is the money. It is Papa Nihil. So it's different. I've got some right here because, got to have some as well. But it's awesome, awesome stuff. So it's all very satanic in nature, 666 all over it, and it's just so fantastic. I love everything about the card art here. Again, gonna have to keep the card once I pull them off, but this is just the coolest thing. I love everything about it. Once again, Super 7 has outdone themselves when it comes to packaging. But let's do it. Let's pull them off the card and take a look. And here we go. Out of the package are Papa Meredith II and III Mummy Dust Edition reaction figures. And these guys, they're reaction figures, so we have to take into consideration the fact that they only have 5 POA. That's not a negative, it's just that's what they are. So there's not really a lot to talk about when it comes to articulation. We're just going to run through it super quick here. So we've got a rotating head there at the neck. You've got a swiveling arm, you've got a swiveling arm, you've got a swiveling leg, you've got a swiveling leg. So you've got your 5 points of articulation. Nothing too crazy, very standard for the line. Exactly what I expect to get. No muss, no fuss. It's a reaction figure. It's very much a hallmark of this line. However, what I really want to talk about is the aesthetics, the way these guys look, because, that's what I bought them for, right? Outside of the fact that I am all about the cards on these, well, outside of the fact that I took them off the cards, I love the way these figures look. I think they've done a fantastic job of recreating these versions of Papa Emeritus in 3 3/4 inch form. So we're going to take a look at each one briefly. We're going to start with Papa Meredith II, and then we're going to get on to Papa Meredith III. So as far as the way this figure looks, it's mostly just a jet black figure as far as the overall body goes. So you've got your black arms, legs, and torso, but there is a little bit of paint on him. You've got the green that pokes through with the robe, so kind of the split at the seam, and then you've got a little bit underneath. So kind of like you're looking through to the underside of the robe as he's maybe moving or anything like that. So it's not just a static piece. It makes it look like there's a little bit more depth to it. You've got the overturned crosses that are tampoed all over the wrist and up and down the torso. Those look pretty good. There is a little bit of detail to it as well, slightly more than I expected, honestly. Once you get in really close on there, you can see them. And then you've also got the crosses that are run down the tassels on the back of his hood, which are done up in metallic silver paint. That is something that I absolutely have to talk about, though, because the metallic silver on this guy is really bright. It's very lustrous. It has a great shine to it. It's a bit of a focal point. You can see it really catches the light quite well, and there's some great paintwork up on the head for the cross there also. He does have a very heavily painted face, though, and that, of course, is a big draw for this figure because I'd say this is probably one of my preferred looks for Papa. I don't know how many I truly have when it comes to preferred looks, but this is one that I really think of quite a bit when I think of Papa. It would be this one because it's just so striking. The intense white against that black is very well done, and I think they did a great job of recreating that here. You've got, of course, kind of like the sunken sockets for the eyes, which are done really nicely. So, of course, gives that kind of skull look and feel, and then you've got the kind of crosshatch around the mouth for the teeth. So they did a great job when it comes to paint application on this guy. He's not not covered in them from head to toe or anything, but they are really well done, what is there. And he does have a very fantastic accessory. So you've got his staff with the cross on it, which is again covered in that same style of metallic silver paint. So tons of detail, tons of luster, just a great shine on this thing. And he holds it really well. It does have two little wider segments on it. So you've got one here and one here, and this actually helps it kind of sit in his hand in kind of a preferred spot almost. So you can hold it out like that. And he's got his massive staff. I mean, it's actually, if I take it out of his hand here for a second, it is actually taller than the figure. So you do get a lot of accessory with this one figure. And then we've got our Papa 3, and without a doubt, this guy is my favorite of the bunch so far. A lot of that is definitely the card. Just, I mean, how many cards do you see that are done up in some sort of demonic, satanic money? I mean, it's just the idea behind it is absurd, and I very much love everything about it. But this figure is one we've seen before. So they've got, what, 2 different Papa 3s at this point? There's a regular one, there's a glow-in-the-dark one. Is the black one Papa 3 as well? I'd have to check. But we've got kind of a repaint figure here, and he is a unique look from Papa 2. So he's got different paint applications on the chest. He's got different colors, obviously, for this particular version. His face is different this time around because it's a different character when it comes to ghost mythology and ghost lore, whatever they call it. And you've got a different, hood as well. So he's got a lot of green accents, so it plays up the Mummy Dust theme. So you've got the kind of dark green with the light green accents for the paint applications, all of which, just like with Papa 2, very cleanly applied. But his underrobes down here are gray instead of black, so there is a bit of a breakup when it comes to colors there, so you can see them a little bit more distinctly. We've got the green on the back as well that runs up and down, and on the tassels on the hood. And then, of course, you've got paint applications up top as well, of course, with that upturned cross and the kind of gray and slightly beige color scheme for that one. So it's not as striking as the other one, but this, of course, is the color scheme. So it works really well in comparison to the green. I think it clashes pretty nicely with the gray at the bottom, gray at the top. And then you've got the face, which is very well done. Love everything about it. The shading around the eyes and then around the actual cheeks to give it a bit of a skull impression, but not necessarily the same kind that we see with the other versions of Papa. So it's very similar in approach, but of course very different. And then you've got one detail that I absolutely love is the difference when it comes to the pupils. So his right, your left is larger than his left, your right. So it's one little thing when it comes to this one that I'm really glad is present. And then he does have a couple of accessories. So you've got a microphone for one, and it's just a standard microphone, nothing too crazy about it, done up in kind of the same green color that we see for the base body on the figure. But the star of the show is the actual money. So the Mummy Dust money. We called it a Cardinal Cash when we were actually at the show where we got some at the time. That's what we kept calling it, that or Papa Bucks, I think is what we were calling it. So he's just got a wad of bills here. You can kind of get it in his hand, kind of wedge it in there. It fits pretty snugly once you find the sweet spot, and he'll be able to hold it just fine, pretty much forever at that point. So you've got some green cash with a gray strap on there. It very much completes the idea of this figure and plays into the whole dollar bill aesthetic that goes with the song, with the concerts, and then of course with the card back. So it all comes around. So yeah, ultimately, there's really nothing that I want to say negative about these figures. I really love everything about them. There is very few instances for me when Super7 does something wrong when it comes to a reaction figure. I think they absolutely know what they're doing from top to bottom on these figures, from card back to figure to accessories. I really think they own this kind of segment when it comes to retro style figures, and these two guys are no different. They look so good. Paint applications are great, sculpt's great. It's very obvious what these guys are meant to be, what they are, who they are, and then of course they come on outstanding card backs. The standard card backs alone are fantastic. The Ed Repka art is just amazing, but the Mummy Dust special card back is, again, something special. It's something different. It's very unique. It pays homage to something that is real when it comes to their shows. So that kind of hits me right there because I've gotten that. I've been there to experience it. So it's really cool to get that in toy form as well. And it all kind of ties together and brings it all around. So good stuff as usual from Super7. These are fantastic reaction figures. Very good stuff if you are a Ghost fan for sure. So that's going to do it for this look at the Super 7 ReAction, Papa Emeritus II and III Mummy Dust Edition. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.